they've been asking that when are you going to work with Shah Rukh Khan once again? You were there
Ask him.
in Mohabbatein. You're there in Mohabbatein, and everyone wanted your role to be more.
I had agreed to work with Mansoor actually, and it was so when we first started, I think the cast was meant to be Aamir and Salman. One song in Shakti, and people name that movie as in my profile, and I'm like, I've done one song.
Aradhya has, I think, brought an amazing amount of happiness in your life.
Yeah,
How do you
my love.
just define?
She's my love. Hello, this is Aishwarya Rai Bachchan, and you're watching Bollywood Hungama.
You spoke about Josh a short while back. I've taken questions from your fans, so many of them. They've been asking that when are you going to work with Shah Rukh Khan once again? You were there in Mohabbatein. You're there in Mohabbatein, and everyone wanted your role to be more. Because whenever you came in those Yash Chopra saris,
so nice.
it was on some other level altogether. You
Yes, and we were
worked
meant
with
to work
Das,
together.
but in Josh, you played his sister.
Yeah.
Did you have apprehensions?
Not at all, not at all. I had agreed to work with Mansoor actually, and it was so when we first started, I think the cast was meant to be Aamir and Salman at one point, and then it changed to I don't know who all, and then eventually it became Shah Rukh, and then I think Shah Rukh, and I don't know if it was an Aamir at some point, and then that became Chandrachud. And so the cast kept changing at different points in time, but Shirley remained Shirley. So I had said yes to Mansoor. And so even when it became this casting, I remember Ratan Jain ji, and because it was Venus, obviously Venus Films, and Mansoor. And they, you know how producers meet you on other films and this and the other. And I was like, no, at no point in time have I ever had any doubts, because I had committed to doing this film, this role. I thought it would be new, it would be different. And like I said, I started with Iruvar. So I was a bit of a, it's fun to kind of change it. It's fun to change perception, which I'm doing till date.
Yeah.
You know, just
Present
be
it
free as an
beautifully.
actor.
Yeah.
Be free as an actor and show that, you know, if it clicks, it's great. It doesn't necessarily always click. You sometimes perception can be stronger and can overwhelm also the idea behind a film. That can also happen. You never know, but luckily and fortunately it worked brilliantly at the time. And I remember, in fact, I think Mohabbatein was soon after.
Ji.
And even that was not a full-fledged role, and that was really for Yash ji and Adi, because actually Yash ji wanted to launch me in the industry.
Right.
वो timing हुआ नहीं, so he used to always joke and say, "तू बनी Miss World," and then उसके बाद you started with money, and you know, we were meant to work together, and you know, I just, God bless you, man. He was just such a nice person, such a nice man, like a father. He was like really sweet. So he just said, "बस कर लो." So I was like, yeah, I'll do it, of course. And it was so beautiful. Ki wo one song did what a full film would do.
100%. Each time when you
For that
came in that dream sequence,
for that entire year, I think people were just kind of living an entire
100%.
experience. Like they were living a movie in those few moments, which was great. I mean, again, see the impact of cinema. There weren't so many scenes at all. I think we had one scene and then moments and that song. And yet people could feel the romance completely. That was the power of the narrative. It worked. And then we got a Devdas together, which was great. And so many years hence, still, and one song in Shakti, and people name that movie as in my profile, and I'm like, I've done one song. It's just a song. So it was great that, you know, people embraced it like that.
That one scene in Aadil Mushkil was circulated like anything.
I know, it's nice.
One scene with Shah Rukh Khan.
It's nice. It's nice how people have loved our work together, and let's see whatever is meant to be. Ask him the question.
I'll do that. 100% I'll do that. We'll post that on Twitter. This question we'll post on Twitter and we'll see. Okay, now one thing that everyone the other day at Sun and Sand, so I was speaking to a journalist and she was saying that we were talking about her daughter, and when she starts talking about Aradhya, that's all that she wants to talk about. And there's so many things that she wants to talk about. Aradhya has, I think, brought an amazing amount of happiness in your life, which is, I think, is on another level altogether.
Yeah,
how do you
love.
just define?
She's my love. I mean, I think that's a simply, blatantly, and I think honestly put. That's it. I mean, really, it's love and peace and bliss in the absolute divine superlative.
Right, and you're a hands-on mom. You like to just see her grow in front of yourself when you just observe everything that she's
It's
doing?
been natural to me. It is not a term, it is not, no one has, I mean, I don't even think my own mother has sat me down to say anything to me in this area. Um, it's just what, I guess, what she evokes naturally in me from the beginning. So it's not that, you know, I mean, if I, right at the outset, she's born to me, she's a part of me, you know, literally. I mean, I know many people say, you know, you should take time out for yourself also, you know. There were some who would advise that and say it's important, and I'm like, possibly, but I don't feel the need for it. I mean, at no point I've worked yes, it's hard work, parenting is hard work, there is a day-night. I know people out there think that, you know, if you're, I guess, if we do lead privileged lives from a lot of people's perspectives. I recognize that from the different perspectives out there. But having said that, within the accessibility that I can have, I have made choices where I have chosen to do a lot of it myself by choice. It isn't for any other reason. It's been genuinely, I mean, my pleasure, even that word is too small to express what I have, what I experience when I have been with my baby to my 6.5-year-old today. I genuinely like going and dropping her to school every day, and I go for drop off and pick up every waking day of my life, unless I have to be at work. And even at that point, so far on the films I've worked with, because it is doable, and if you work it out with your director, unless you need an early morning shot for whatever reasons, I can report to work at 9. So I do drop her off to school and then arrive at studio. And so on those rare days, if I can't make it for pickup, then I'm not at pickup. But otherwise, so I do drop her and then come. So if I have to get up earlier, like during Jazba, and that time she was in play school, I would get ready early in the morning and then drop her off and then go to work. And if the work was around in this vicinity, if I could, I would go get her myself and then bring her with me. So it's not that, are you raising your kid in a studio? That was, she was very small. No, it's not in a studio. She was with me. She was with her mother. I don't need any points to prove, you know. And work was doable that way because, you know, I would have my mother with me. I mean, you know, at the time, and it's all worked out. So it's not about points to be proven. Or even on the other hand, I mean, yes, there were many who would say that surely you could make time to go work out, and you know, don't have to. I could have, maybe I should have. But I genuinely enjoyed spending time with her, and so I did. So, you know, people are like, but you are in showbiz, so maybe, you know, come on, get on with it. And I'd be like, I'd get on with it in my time. There is no rush, because I genuinely love every minute spent. It's beautiful. And those who had gone through it, there'd also be many who would say, you know what you're doing, because this time is just gonna fly, and it does. And believe you me, there are so many moments, there's so many little things, and the mutual bond between us is just there.
Definitely.
And it can't be articulated.
Definitely.
And it's all of that, it's all of our time together.
In fact, I think I can understand and relate a few of the things, because my wife is a Scorpio as well. So I've seen how she has raised our daughter. So I can totally empathize with Abhishek as well, in terms of that it's like 100% only one thing. There's nothing else exists after that. So I can totally understand what you're saying and what you mean.
Come on, you're happier for that also.
Scorpios,
you know?
are like, their commitment is like 100%.
Yeah, like I tease him. I said, okay, but at least like you've been on a vacation, no? You're good, right? You've been able to focus on what you need to, so it's all good. So you know, you can't really deny that either.
Right.
I'm sure that makes you all happy too.
Definitely.
You know? Hello, this is Aishwarya Rai Bachchan, and you're watching Bollywood Hungama.